Howdy, y'all. Swan, Marion, the bookworm cowboy here. Here to read from uh, some more of the Kane Chronicles, The Serpent's Shadow by Rick Riordan. Sorry. Chapter 8. I assisted the flower pot. The ride back wasn't fun. Walt and I held onto the boat while our teeth chattered and our eyes tickled. The magic fog had turned the color of blood. Ghostly voices whispered angrily, like they decided to riot a new ethereal world. Sooner than I expected, Freak pushed his way out of the duat. We found ourselves over the New Jersey dockyards. Our boat trimmed clean as Freak bobbed wearily through the air. In the distance, the Manhattan skyline gleamed gold in the sunrise. While I hadn't spoken during the trip, the duat tends to put a damper on conversations. Now regard me sheepishly. I should explain some things, he said. I can't pretend I wasn't curious. As the sickness had progressed, Walden had gotten more and more secretive. I wondered what he'd been talking about with Toast. But it wasn't my business. As I say, he learned my secret name last spring and gotten a free tour of my innermost thoughts. I've become sensitive about respecting people's privacy. Look, Walt, it's your personal life, I said. If you don't want to tell, but it's not personal. You need to know what's going on. I won't be around much longer. I gazed down at the harbor, the Statue of Liberty passing below us. Once I knew what was dying, it never got easier to accept. I remember what a prophet had said at the Dallas Museum. Walt wouldn't live long enough to see the end of the world. Are you sure? I asked. Isn't there some way? Anubis is sure, he said. I've got until sunset tomorrow at the very latest. I didn't want to hear another impossible deadline. By sunset tonight, he'd have to save the ghost of an evil magician. By sunset tomorrow, Walt would die. And the sunrise after that, if we were lucky, we could look forward to doomsday. I never liked being thwarted. Whenever I felt like something was impossible, I tried even harder out of sheer stubbornness. But at this point, I felt like the focus was on a good laugh at my expense. You're not a quitter, seemed to be asking. How about now? This weekend. Are you a quitter now? Anger made a small, hard knot in my gut. I kicked the side of the boat and nearly broke my foot. Well, harder, Don't say it's all right, I said. I snapped. It's not all right. I wasn't mad at him. I was mad at the unfairness of the stupid curse and the fact that I kept feeling people who depended on me. Parents that died to give Stevie and me a chance to save the world, which we were close to botching. In Dallas, dozens of good magicians had died because they tried to help me. Now we were about to lose Walt. Sure, he was important to see, but I relied on him just as much. Walt was my unofficial lieutenant at Brooklyn House. The other kids listened to him. He was a calming presence in every crisis, side vote in every debate. I could trust him with any secret, and even with making making the execration statue of Apophis, which I couldn't tell my uncle about. If Walt died, I won't let it happen. I said, I refuse. Wild thoughts ran through my mind. Maybe Anubis was lying to Walt about his imminent death, trying to push Walt away from Sadie. Okay, I could say he wasn't that much of a prize. Yeah, Sadie, I really said that. Just checking to see if you were still paying attention. Maybe Walt could beat the odds. People survive cancer miraculously. Why not an ancient curse? Maybe we could put him in spin animation like Iskander had done for Zia. So we found an antidote. Sure, his family had been searching for a cure unsuccessfully for centuries. Jazz, our best healer, had tried everything, but no luck. Maybe we'd overlooked something. Carter, Walt said, if you let me finish, we've got to make plans. How can you be so calm? I demanded. Walt fingered his Shen necklace, the twin of the one he'd given Sadie. I've known about my curse for years. I won't let it stop me from doing what I need to. One way or another, I'm going to help you beat up Clovis. How? I said. You just told me. Anubis has an idea. Walt said. He's been helping me make sense of my powers. You mean? I glanced at Walt's hand. Several times I'd seen him turn objects into ashes simply by touching them. The way he'd done to that power sphinx in Dallas. That didn't come from any of his magic items. None of us understood it. And as Walt's disease progressed, he seemed less and less able to control it. Made me think twice about giving the guy a high five. Walt flexed his fingers. Anubis thinks he understands why I have that ability. And there's more. He thinks there might be a way to extend my life. That was such good news that I had to let out a shaky laugh. Why didn't you say so? He can cure you? No, Walt said. Not a cure, and it's risky. It's never been done before. That's what you were talking to Toast about. Walt nodded. Even if Anubis' plan works, there could be side effects. You might not like it. Though this friends, Sadie might not like it. Fortunately, I had a vivid imagination. I envisioned Walt turning into some sort of undead creature, a withered mummy, a ghostly ba, or a disfigured demon. In Egyptian magic, side effects could be pretty extreme. I try not to let my emotions show. We want you to live. Don't worry about Sadie. I could tell from Walt's eyes that he worried about Sadie a lot. Seriously, what did he see in my sister? Ow! Stop hitting me, Sadie. I'm just being honest. Walt flexed his fingers. Maybe it was my imagination, but the thought detected the wisps of gray steam coming from his hands. As if just talking about his being thought and made it turn active. I won't make the decision yet, Walt said. Not until I'm on my last breath. I want to talk to Sadie first. Explain to her. He lifted his hand on the side of the boat. That was a mistake. The woven leaves turned gray under his touch. Walt, stop! I yelled. He jerked his head and hang back. There was too late. The boat crumbled to ashes. He lunged for the ropes. Thankfully, they did not crumble. Maybe because Walt was paying more attention now. Quick squawked as the boat disappeared. And suddenly, Walt and I were gaining under the griffin's belly, holding on to the ropes for dear life and bonking into each other as we flew above the papers of Manhattan. Wow! I yelled over the wind. You really need to get a handle on that power. Sorry, he shouted back. Arms were aching. But somehow we made it to Brooklyn House without plummeting to our deaths. Fix us down on the roof. The Bass was waiting around the gate. Why were we swinging from rope? She demanded. Because it's so fun, I growled. What's the news? Behind those chimneys, a frail voice broke. Hello! Ancient sun god Ra popped out. He gave us a toothless scream and hobbled around the roof. He reached into the folds of his loincloth and tossed cookie crumbs in the air like confetti. And yes, it was just as disgusting as it sounds. Bass tensed her arms, and the knife shot into her hand. Probably just an involuntary reflex, but she was tempted to use those blades on someone. Anyone. She reluctantly slipped the blades back into her sleeves. The news, she said. I'm on very sneaky thanks to your Uncle Amos who asked me for a favor. Sadie Shafty's is waiting for you out downstairs, shall we? Explaining shaving and the Shafty would take the whole fucking recording. I sit down no talent for crafting magical statues. That didn't stop her from trying. She found this harebrained idea that she could create the perfect Shafty to be her avatar, speak with her voice, and do all her chores like a remote-controlled robot. All her previous attempts at exploding her gone haywire, Sarah and crew from the initiates. Last week she created a magical thermos with googly eyes that levitated around the room. Googly eyes that levitated around the room, yeah. Exterminate! Exterminate! Until it smacked me in the head. Sadie's latest shot, he was Sadie Jr., a Garner's nightmare. I'm not paying much of an artist. Sadie had fashioned a vaguely human figure out of red ceramic flower pots, held together by magic, string, and duct tape. Face was an upside down pot with a Spanish face drawn in black marker. About time! How long? The pot creature was waiting in my room while Walt and I came in. Its mouth didn't move, but Sadie's voice echoed from inside the face pot as if she were trapped within the Shafty. That thought made me happy. Stop smiling, she ordered. I can see you caught it. Oh, and hello, Walt. Pot monster made squeaky grinding noises as it stood up straight. One funky arm rose and tried to fix Sadie's non-existent hair. Music is said to be self-conscious around boys, even when she's made out of pots and duct tape. We traded stories. Sadie told us about the impending attack on the first moon that was supposed to go down at sunrise on the equinox, and the alliance between Sarah Jacoby's forces and Apophis. Wonderful news. Just great. In return, I told Sadie about our visit to with Toth. I shared the visions of Apophis had shown me about my mother's precarious situation in the Duat, which made the pot monster shudder. And the end of the world just seemed to surprise her at all. I didn't tell Sadie about Apophis' offer to spare me if I give up Raw. Made you comfortable announcing that with Raw was outside the door singing songs about cookies. I told her about evil ghosts that knew whose trial would start at sunset in the Hall of Judgment. Uncle Vinny! Sadie said. Pardon? That face that spoke to me at the Dallas Museum, she said. So it was always a set name itself. You warned me that we would get up to understand the Saturday execution spell. He said we'd have to pull some strings and see him before sunset tonight. He meant the trial. We'll have to convince Dad to free him. I didn't mention that Toa said he's a murderous psychopath, right? Bot must have made a clucking sound. What? Kinda. You'll be fine if any psychopath is one of our specialties. She turned her fat on head toward the wall. You'll be coming along, I hope. Her tone had a hint of reproach, like she was upset that while Hamilton was school dance mass blackout party. I'll be there, he promised. I'm fine. He shot me a warning note, but I wasn't going to contradict him. Whenever he and me were plotting, I could wait for him to explain to Sadie. Jumping in the middle of the city while the whole city while the newest round sounded like about as much fun as diving into a pre-food processor. Right, Lady said. When we get to that, the whole judgment before sunset tonight. Let's give us time to finish up. Finish up, I asked. Who is us? It's hard to read expressions on a smiley face, but Ziggy's hesitation told me that. You're all in the first film anymore, I guess. What are you doing? Small errand, Sadie said. I'm off to see Bess. I frowned. Bess. Sadie went to see Bess in his nursing home almost every week. It's a fine round, but why now? You do understand we're in a hurry. It's necessary, she insisted. Got an idea that might help us with our shadow project. Don't fret, Zia's with me. Zia? It was my turn to feel self-conscious. If I were a flower pot, I would have took my hair. That's why Bass is watching rapidly. What exactly are you with Zia? Stop worrying, Sadie chided. I'll take good care of her. No, Carter, she hasn't been talking about you. I have no idea how she feels about you. What? I wanted to punch Sadie Jr. in her ceramic face. I didn't say anything like that. No, she chided. I don't think Zia cares what you wear. It's not a date. Just please brush your teeth for once. I'm gonna kill you, I said. Love you too, brother. Here, ta-ta. The pottery creature crumbled into pieces, leaving a mound of shards and a red clay face smiling up at me. Walt and I joined Bass outside my room. We leaned on the rail overlooking the great room, while Ra skipped back and forth on the balcony singing nursery songs in ancient Egypt. Down below, our initiates were getting ready for the school day. Julian had a breakfast sausage sticking out of his mouth as he rummaged through his backpack. Felix and Sean were arguing over whose math textbook. The little stubby was chasing the other in comparison with a fistful of crayons and shot rainbow-colored sparks. I've never had a big family. Living at Brooklyn House, I felt like I had a dozen brothers and sisters. Despite the craziness, I enjoyed it. Doing my next decision even harder. I told Bass about our plan to visit the Hall of Judgment. I don't like it, she said. Walt managed to laugh. Is there a plan you like better? She tilted her head. Now that you mention it, no. Don't like plans. I'm a cat, so I have believe I've heard about setting they are true. I know, I said, but it's our only shot. She was going along. You don't want me to come along? You sure? Maybe I get a new shoe to rock. No, I said. He must have going to need help at the first no. Doesn't have the numbers to fend off an attack from both the magic rebels and the Profess. last night, Kane ended the first known thought in the patrol outside. If a prophet shows himself all engaged in battle, he'll be at full strength. Walt warned he's getting stronger by the hour. She lifted her head defiantly. I fought him before, Walt Stone. I know him better than any besides I went to Carr's family. And to Lord Rock. Kitty! Rob appeared behind us, passed on the head, and stepped away. Meow, meow, meow. Watching him prance around, I wanted to scream and throw his legs. He'd risk everything to revive the old sun god, hoping we'd get a divine pharaoh who could stand toe to toe with the Popus. Instead, we got a wrinkly, bald troll in a loincloth. Get me. The Popus said, I know you hate it. I tried to put it out of my mind. But I couldn't quite shake the image of an island in the sea of chaos, a personal paradise where the people I would love would be safe. I knew it was a lie. The promise would never deliver on that promise, but I could understand how Sarah, Jacoby, and Kwai might be tempted. Besides, a purpose knew I was strike a nerve. I did resent Rob for being so weak. Horace agreed with me. We don't need that old fool. Morgoth's voice spoke inside my head. I'm not saying you should give him to Apophis, but he is useless. We should put him aside and take the throne of the gods for ourselves. Made it sound so tempting, such an obvious solution. But no, if Apophis wanted me to give up Rod, then Rod might be valuable in some way. Some god has thought I role to play. I just had to figure out what it was. Tiger, that's frowned. I know you're worried about me, but your parents saved me from the abyss for a reason. Your mother foresaw that I would be the difference in the final battle. I'll fight the closest to the death if necessary. You won't get past me. I wavered. Bass had already helped us so much. She had once been destroyed from the crocodile dog so that she enlisted their friend Beth of us, and then we see them reduced to an empty shell. She helped us restore her old master Ra to the world, and now she was stuck babysitting him. Then I didn't want to ask her to face the purpose again, but she was right. She knew the enemy better than anyone except maybe Rob, when he was in his right mind. All right, I said, but Amos will need more help than you can give back, the only magicians. Walt frowned. Who? After the disaster in Dallas, you don't have any friends left. You can contact Sao Paulo and Vancouver. They're still with us. They won't be able to spare many people. They'll be worried about protecting their own lives. I shook my head. Amos needs magicians to know the path of the gods. He needs us, all of us. All digested the silently. You mean abandoned Brooklyn house? You know what's being about you. Speak with joy as Shelly tried to tag them out with her sparkling crowns. Rufus sat on the fireplace, eating Cheerios, watching 10-year-old Tucker bounce a basketball off the Thatcher's toes. Jazz was putting a bandage on Melissa's forehead. Last the party, she'd been attacked by Sadie's rogue Thermos. It was still on the loose. In the middle of all this, Cleo was sitting on the sofa and engrossed in a book. Brooklyn House was the first real home someone had ever known. We promised to keep them safe and teach them to use their powers. And I was about to send them unprepared into the most dangerous battle of all time. Carter, I said, they're not ready. They have to be. I said, if the first dawn falls, it's all over. Both of us will attack us in Egypt at the source of our power. We have to stand together with the great chief elector. Our last battle. I'll think that they sadly had a great room. Maybe wondering whether or not he'll die before that battle happened. Should we break the news to the others? Not yet, I said. Rebel magicians attack on the first one won't happen until tomorrow. Let the kids have one last day in school. Fast, when they come home this afternoon, I want you to lead them to Egypt. Use whatever magic you have to. If all goes well in the underworld, Sadie and I will join you before the attack. If all goes well, I said, yeah, that happens a lot. Snipes over at the sun ground. He was trying to eat the doorknob to Sadie's room. What about Ra? She asked. The Profess is going to attack in 2 days. God has to keep making his nightly journeys, I said. That's part of my art. You can't mess with it. And on the morning of the equinox, he'll need to be in Egypt. He'll have to face a Profess. Like that? Bass gestured toward the old god. In his loincloth? I know, I admitted. It sounds crazy. Our Profess still thinks Ra is a threat. Maybe if facing a Profess in battle will remind Ra who he is. He might rise to that challenge and become what he used to be. Wall and Bass didn't answer. I could tell from their expressions that they didn't buy it. Neither did I. Ra was becoming Sadie's stories longer than he felt to kill, but I didn't think he'd be much good against the Lord of Chaos. Still felt good to have a plan of action. That was much better than standing around dwelling on the hopelessness of their situation. Use the day to organize. I told Bass, gather up the most valuable scrolls, amulets, weapons, anything we can use to help the first known. Let Amos know where you're coming. Paul and I will head to the underworld to meet Sadie. We'll rendezvous with you in Cairo. Bass pursed her lips. All right, Carter, but be careful, Stephanie. However bad you think he is, he's 10 times worse. Maybe he's the god of evil, I married her. Bass shook her head. Said is a god, he doesn't change. Even with the god of chaos, he can pretty much predict how it'll act. Stephanie, on the other hand, he has both power and human unpredictability. Don't trust him, swear to me. That's easy, I said, I promise. Paul folded his arms. So how are you going to get out to the underworld? Paul's are unreliable. We're being freaky and republic the story. I have another book in mind, I said. Thank you, it was a good idea. I'm going to summon an old friend. And with that, we end it here.